You see, this is what happens when you go against the best in the business and it's not even close. Got some fan pushback on my last video. Shakur Stevenson was skipped. Lomachenko and Kambosos is likely next. Let me further break this down for those that don't understand, for the slow people in the back. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Let me jump right into it. So on my last video, and I'll try to put a card at the end of this video, so stay tuned to the end. You really need to watch that video to understand the message, right? But this is what happens. This one I got to flex who I am in this boxing game. Everything you thought of, I've already thought of. I am at least 5 to 7 steps ahead of everybody in the world of boxing. That's how my brain works. So in my last video, just to recap for those who haven't watched it, again, card at the end of this video so you guys can watch it. Oh yeah, by the way, Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Now, moving on. In my last video, I was basically saying how Shakur Stevenson continues to get the short end of the stick. It is widely known and reported that former unified champion Vasyl Lomachenko is likely to fight George Kambosos. This was confirmed by Top Rank's Bob Arum in the first quarter of 2024. This is not really breaking news. They were supposed to fight. Devin Haney crept in because Lomachenko decided to fight in the war. Devin Haney then announced he was moving up to 140 pounds. He did it, and he looked great, and he looked successful, or he was successful, versus Regis Prograis. Right before the fight, he announced that you guys gotta pay attention. He announced that he was not fighting at 35, and he was relinquishing his titles, which left vacancies. So Shakur Stevenson fought Edwin De Los Santos. Not either guy's best performance. Nonetheless, Shakur Stevenson won that fight, and he is a WBC champion, right? Lomachenko looks to become a champion since these belts from Devin Haney being undisputed, now being in a different weight class. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss a thing. So Devin Haney, he relinquished all these belts, so they freed up 135-pound belts. So you got guys who are now going to be fighting, trying to get those belts and become champions. Since it's no longer held by the one guy, they would have had to go through Devin Haney and beat him to become a champion. Now it's disrupted. You don't any longer have to go through one fight. So you'll see several fights that have people who are staking claim to get those belts, right? This is why I highly suggest you guys subscribe to my channel, because I go over all of these things, boxing news daily. So if you hit the subscribe button and you watch my content, then you'll definitely be informed. And these recaps, you can even almost fast forward through them if you want, because you'll be up to date on what's going on in boxing. Nevertheless, Devin moved up to 140. He's doing his thing on a different path. 35, a lot of vacant belts because he was undisputed. The belts dispersed. Now they're giving Lomachenko yet another opportunity at a belt. But why? His last fight, he lost to Devin Haney. So he's definitely coming off of a loss, if you look it up, to Devin Haney. I don't care what the fans say, like, oh, Devin lost and that. The judges said he lost, and that's that. He's getting a fight at a Kambosos who, listen, the fight is not a bad fight, but he's getting a fight. Kambosos is doing it in Australia, so I don't know why somehow he has the home court advantage. Maybe they feel it's a better sell in Australia, fill out a stadium or something with that particular fight. People want to see Kambosos, see Lomachenko, whatever. So that's the fight. So I'm not even really mad at the fight. I'm just mad at the politics. And that's what I was saying for Shakur Stevenson. How is Shakur Stevenson skipped? How is he skipped when he's been calling out Lomachenko, but he can't get Lomachenko, right? And you can say whatever you want. His performance wasn't the greatest. I agree, versus Edwin De Los Santos, but he still won. He still won the fight. There was no dispute. It was a lackluster fight, but he won. He didn't get touched up or dropped or hurt or anything. It just wasn't a scintillating fight, if anything. So I'm just curious how old media keeps putting Lomachenko in all these positions, these favorable positions where he just keeps getting ranked in the top 10. He just keeps getting title opportunities. He's like 35, 36 years old, whatever age he is. And there's some young blood in the division, right? The Keyshawn Davises, the Shakur Stevenson, guys even like Gervonta Davis, who are younger than him, who has a secondary belt. He'll likely be elevated. But the point I'm making is, how does Lomachenko keep getting these opportunities in world boxing? I don't understand. It's like old media tries so hard to baby him and coddle his career into making sure he doesn't have to, he can lose, and he'll still be on the top 10 pound for pound. He'll still be regarded as better than Muhammad Ali or, this great amateur. Now, the amateur, he is great at that. He had almost 400 fights with only one loss that he avenged, I believe 2 times. But the point is, amateurs is amateurs, pro is pro. You can't really hold a guy off of their amateur record when we're in the pros. That's like Tim Tebow was the man in college, but in NFL football, he doesn't have this legendary run, as an all-time great quarterback. There's no way he could surpass Tom Brady and guys like Drew Brees or anybody, Joe Montana, Steve Young, Patrick Mahomes. He didn't have that type of run. So what are you going to just brag about what he did in college, right? But that's what people keep doing with Lomachenko, praising his prior work before he was a pro. And again, I'm just curious how he gets these opportunities. Now, the question that I got from a fan, they said, I thought Stevenson was the WBC champ. He can't be in anyone else's rankings anymore, correct? So just the way this is phrased, I take this as a challenge. The way they phrased it, and he's like he's schooling me, correct? And putting question marks. But here's the thing. You're dealing with the best in the business, and it's not even close. So in 1 minute or less, I'll cook this conversation using Lomachenko, the guy I'm telling you is getting special treatment in boxing. Let go. 1 minute on the clock, $10,000. I bet I get this in one take. So this is an old article from Boxing Scene. And this says, you guys see, from 2019, Lomachenko versus Luke Campbell approved for the vacant WBC title. The vacant WBC title. So Lomachenko already was a champion, and I've highlighted it. It says a fight between mandatory challenger Luke Campbell and Lomachenko has now been officially ordered for the vacant WBC belt. Read this. Lomachenko already holds the WBO and the IBF world titles at 135 pounds. So again, I ask you, how come Shakur, who's now a WBC champion through a vacancy with Edwin De Los Santos, they currently were all with Top Rank. How come Shakur doesn't get these opportunities? How come he doesn't get these opportunities where he could fight Kambosos? He said he would beat Kambosos easy. He called out Lomachenko. Instead, Top Rank is making Lomachenko versus Kambosos. Boom. Now, it always seems to be this way when it comes to certain fighters. We know which ones, right? Shakur Stevenson, he's calling out all the best, calling out the names. He can't get these looks. But these easy access to vacant titles, he can get one with a tough fight in Edwin De Los Santos, but Lomachenko can get one with Kambosos, and Kambosos really is, if we're being real, it's not coming off the best performance versus Maxie Hughes. I thought he lost that particular fight. So it's funny how this works. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Subscribe. Best in the business.